Whoa. Wow. That was a weird pop.
Yeah.
Like, wow, okay, yeah.
So, tell me what brings you in today, and I do know that we spoke about it briefly, and I know that there's some spina bifida down at the L5. We know about some other things going on in endometriosis and whatnot. You've been in pain for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking lots of meds to help deal with the pain.
Yep.
Tell me about it.
So, because of the endometriosis, I've taken 2 rounds of chemical menopause medication, which has also caused my bone density to lessen. So I've been getting cracked in the bones, joints and pains, jaws like cracked. When I'm biting something, they will lock up. And then that contributed to my back hurting even more so. Fast forward, I got pregnant, had the baby. Even then, I was having a lot of back pain. I could not be comfortable, even through the early stages of the pregnancy. Was still getting adjusted in hopes to have a natural birth. Didn't go as planned for other reasons. Ended up having an emergency C-section. Fast forward.
How early before the 9 months was the C-section?
He was a month and a half early.
Okay.
So we were about 34 weeks.
How long?
And I'm sorry, like 34 weeks. That was about a year ago. So now, even then, I was already complaining of back pain. I was supposed to do back exercises to strengthen up the muscle. I did like the core exercises way before the pregnancy. Even then, I was already getting adjusted before the pregnancy. Did the core muscles, was working out constantly every single day. My weight was like at 120, so I was consistently and eating correctly like I was supposed to. Back pain has always been there. And so fast forward now, I'm like maybe like 40 pounds more now, 60 to 40, I don't know, 40 pounds more. I know my weight's contributing to it, but the pain is still the same. I'm sure the L5 spina bifida isn't helping because now I feel a sharp pain going up and some tingling, some numbness, and I can't sleep. I can't, like, just sitting here, I feel it very tight.
Where do you, like when you said, I'm just going to take the back of your chair off, but you said that you have a sharp pain that goes up and then numbness and tingling.
The tingling is right here.
Okay.
The pain is all through this entire piece right here.
Okay.
And it feels super tight. When I sit, I feel it right here. This is where I feel like a sharp pain. And if I were to stand up, I was like, go like this, I feel it like in between my, I guess my butt bone and here. Like I feel like a sharp pain right there.
Can I quickly just take a look at your
Yep.
back? This is quite a dip in here. Look how low it goes. See how it looks like when it's like a diamond? You know? Yeah, okay. Continue, I'm sorry.
And so then my endometriosis had subsided once, I don't know what, I mean, obviously there's no cure for endometriosis, but it has subsided after I had the baby. And now I'm back on medication because it came stronger than ever. So there was a new medication that came out, different from the last one I was taking. And again, the joint pain got even worse with that new medication. And now it's just, I'm just kind of out of whack with everything. So it's one thing contributing to another, and it's just making my bones feel even worse. So now, whenever I'm working out or if I go for walks, my knees are popping like crazy. If I were to bend down and get back up, it's like a screeching noise on this left knee.
Yep.
So it's just, and I constantly have to stand up and pop my knee like in so I can get some kind of relief. So in my back, I stretch it, I stretch my neck, I do like stretching exercises, and nothing's helping me.
Yeah.
So now these past few months have been difficult sleeping because I'm waking up in the middle of my sleep, just trying to get into a comfortable position to a point where I can't even turn in my sleep or turn it on the bed. without having help because of how bad the pain is on my back.
Wow.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
The popping and clicking in the joints, what did other doctors tell you that it is?
It's just they just said it probably has to do with my back not being aligned and causing my joints to rub against one another.
Until we look at the x-ray, like the newest x-ray, hopefully early next week, I won't know definitively the condition of the spine, like again, definitively, to be able to give my opinion on osteoarthritis versus like a tendonitis and like overuse injury. But here's the thing, tendonitis in this case wouldn't have to be like an overuse injury. And the reason I'm even bringing that up is because when we feel popping and clicking of a joint, that's not true bone on bone, which isn't really a popping and clicking, it's more of a grinding. So popping and clicking usually means that there's a tight tendinous or ligamentous snap because the joint is so tight because it's guarding. But another reason that it might be happening and not necessarily guarding is actually the chemical imbalance due to the drugs. What it does is it plays with calcium, and the calcium between what gets to lay down the bone, how you mentioned, your bone density is lost with some of the rounds of using various drugs, to be able to treat whatever was going on. And obviously, pre-traumatic, birth C-section, for whatever reason, endometriosis, these things will mess with these, not sodium, but calcium, muscle contracting, and the calcium within the blood. And what will happen is the muscle basically loses its ability to contract. So there's definitely a chemical imbalance that's happening inside your body, and we got to find a way to address that at some point. But obviously, first and foremost, we want to get to the root cause of the pain, and get the pressure off the nerves so it feels better, so you can kind of make the gains you'd like. That might make sense, right?
Yeah.
Because popping and clicking, I believe to be a tendinous snap because things are so tight around the edges of the joints.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and this has been going on for as long as I remember, probably since I was like 13, 14. And I'm 27 now, so it's...
Because those are, all medication does is, again, mask symptom based on the idea that something's like wrong. Well, if we can somehow optimize the body and tweak diet, we could get things to where the body's functioning right, and you can get back to that activity, off the meds, feeling good.
Yep, okay, perfect. Yeah, then that's my goal. I'm tired of medication. I've actually gone 4 days without taking one of them, and I know I shouldn't, but I'm just so tired of taking it.
Well, I like the mentality to get off the meds because, unless you're somebody, and again, this is just one example because a lot of people, I'm going to post, a video, it's going to be some editing, but people are going to hear me say things there's no reason to be on medication. Some people are like, what? Sure, if you're going to die because you don't have, exogenous insulin and you're a type 1 diabetic, you need it.
Yeah.
If you have seizures and you've gone through every other trial and you simply don't have something that would enhance like the GABA, we call it, mechanism of the brain to slow it down, you're probably going to keep having seizures. So of course there's a need for meds, but with you, I think we need to get the pressure off the spine. We need to get you in less pain a lot more often, less pain, to be able to manage some of this other stuff and see that it's effective.
Yeah, most definitely. And I don't know if it has to do anything with it, but the reason I did go into early was because I developed severe pre-harm, so super bad, horrible. And to the point where the medication actually affected my child, and they had to do life-saving measures for him whenever he was born because he wasn't breathing or his heart actually stopped. So it was, I'm trying, and I want to go into my next future pregnancy with a different mindset because I'm afraid of that happening all over again. So that's even more so stopping me to continue with having another child.
I understand.
So I'm trying to take care of everything first.
You have a son now? And he's like a year and...
He is 14, a year and 3 months.
How's he doing?
He is living life to the fullest. Yeah, you wouldn't even been able to tell that he was born at 4 pounds. Like he is.
Wow.
Yeah, they call him the little, what do they call him? The little tsunami? They call him the tsunami because he's all over the place, but he's a sweetheart. That's why I said whenever I put on there, I'm like, my boss is my son. But yeah, he's amazing, so grateful for him.
That's a blessing.
Yes.
Do you have any loss of sensation in any of your extremities, like your feet or your hands? Anything crazy? You ever like try to like put on some clothes or do your hair and feel like your hands ain't working right? Anything scary like that?
No.
What do you do to make your back feel the best? Like, what's the most relief you can get?
Lay down on the floor and put my feet up.
Down on your back, feet up. Okay.
Stretching it, or I would just go like this and just kind of stretch it, or like stand up and bend like this and just kind of stretching it. And as much as I try, it's just.
You know, you're giving me a lot of information there. I theorize right now that this is kind of what yours looks like on the side. You have quite a dip back where you're pointing to that pain. And I think that you have what we would call an extension intolerance, because again, now this is flexion, we bend over. This is extension, we make like a cobra pose. I think your cord over here is starting to get a little cut off at that nerve supply. Not to scare you to say cut off, but you see how that's all red and aggravated and cut off. So if you can picture that, I think that there's a dip down here like this, and that's what we call an extension intolerance. Because we can look at it in sections and we can guess, but if we looked at it segmentally, what I have to do is set my table there in such a way that there's a huge difference when I adjust the bone if this is here or here versus all the way down here. It's also going to matter whether we're able to use this to drop or whether we keep it locked, or, you know what I mean? And that's really going to be the key with you, I think, is figuring out which one of these is flexion intolerant, which one's extension intolerant, and then of course going up to the upper cervical so we can take care of those things like headaches, jaw pain, brain fog, any of those things to make this kind of free-flowing from the top where there's the most, we call them mechanoreceptors. It's the most stimulation the body can have to feed the rest of the system. You know what I mean? Makes sense?
Yes. Yeah, it does.
Do you have any questions based off anything I just said? Because I know I just threw a lot of information.
No. Because that actually makes sense because I actually had an MRI done in December and an X-ray done in December as well because of the same thing. I just haven't been able to get better with it.
What did the MRI report say? Do you recall anything about that?
That there was like an irritation within the nerve, and they did find like a little bit of osteoporosis in the L4 and L5 from the X-rays that were done as well. But that everything looked fine and nothing that they didn't see anything. But again, this was in December of last year, so late December, early. It was going on to next year, this year. And the MRI just gave me basically the doctor said. That everything was fine. So they go to a spine specialist as well, and they're like, nothing, everything's fine.
It sounds a lot like myself and a lot of other people's experience. You know, it's like can't find anything, nothing definitive, no discs that we can cut out. So therefore, here's some medicine. Yeah, pretty much. And they just told me take the prox and you should be fine. And I just got I didn't even go pick up a prescription from the pharmacy. I was like, okay, whatever. So. Okay. Well, I know that I can help you. To what extent, I don't know, but I think we're going to find out very shortly, because it's like I tell everyone, I mean, you'll know with me within like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 visits kind of thing. Like you're going to be like, yeah, man, this is working. Or, this is like every other chiropractor and I get some relief for a short time. Yeah. But obviously, we're not going to, fix it in one day kind of thing. But at the same time, I think that I can help find the right spots on your spine with that kind of like Gonstead specific approach, sort of, rather than the whole shotgun and manipulate everything. We get much more specific and impactful. Sometimes I might adjust one bone, sometimes I might adjust 5.
did have those adjustable desks, but by that point I think I was already.
Let's go with your chin down, but now push your head back with your chin tucked more towards me. And let your hands relax there. Yeah, just like that. And then let your head falls to my right hand. There it is, that's the rest. Had to work for that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let your stomach relax, let it all relax.
Oh.
Good. Perfect. How have you been feeling after 2 adjustments?
Better,
Yeah.
way better. The knee's good. I'm surprised at how it's not hurting, especially with the weather change.
Yeah.
Usually whenever it's warm then it's cold, it hurts like super bad.
Okay.
And it's just, if there's any pain, it's probably like so minimal that you can barely even tell.
Good.
But in comparison to what it was before. And sleep, I'm good. My husband actually, I'm randomly walking around the house dancing, and he's like, "You need to stop." He's like, "You need to
He
stop."
said you need to share whatever that is.
And right now we're driving, and I kept dancing. He's like, "You're gonna have to get completely readjusted if you keep dancing that way." I'm like, "No, I'm not." He's like, "You're gonna wreck." I'm like, I'm not. But yeah, I've been good.
Good.
No complaints. I've been good.
Okay.
Like I haven't had any of the back pain that I had the second night.
Okay.
Like it's very, very minimal.
Okay.
Like it's nothing compared to what it was before. Like usually if I would have gone like this, I would have been so like very sore, but now I'm just kind of
Good.
nothing.
All right, that means we're finding the right patterns.
Yeah.
And also when I'll show you the way we do it.
Okay.
I'm excited. I mean, let me tell you. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm super pumped for it. Like
Oh yeah,
you
like,
have
I
no idea.
I love it. Like, it's not because like I like telling people what to do or whatever. It's because like I know that this is gonna work. My ultimate goal is combination chiropractic and new diet. That not only do you feel good, you keep dancing, body's good, sleep is good and consistent, but also that we kick this irritable bowel-like symptoms and some of this unexplained, and I've been doing so much reading up on endometriosis. I want this stuff gone.
Yeah, so do I. Whew,
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And I mean, I can't overpromise, but what I can do is say I have seen a lot of these symptoms go away with some of the stuff that we're gonna do.
Oh yeah, because endo and IBS go hand in hand. So I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm ready for it to be done with. Like you have no clue. Because in the adhesions from the surgery, in my pregnancy, I could feel the adhesions still like, so whenever I was growing, I ended up at the hospital like 4 or 5 different times because of the horrible pelvic pain that I was getting, and they're like, yeah, it's just that adhesions are tugging at it. So they suggested I get the epidural early on so that, God forbid, they're like, God forbid you have to have an emergency C-section, and had an emergency C-section, we won't have to sleep you completely. And I was like, okay. Well, there was only one spot where the epidural was not hitting, and it was where I had it the worst. They're like, you have so many adhesions there that the medicine's not getting to that spot.
So yeah, you can feel the pressure in the upper cervical. Good swing there.
Whoa.
Sorry that I hit you in the jaw a little bit.
That's fine. No, that wasn't even it. I felt stars.
Yeah, a lot of pressure release that I cut through there just at the end. So that was a good move.
Yes, that was a good one, not a bad one.
Okay.
The cheap one, I didn't even.
Yeah.
I knew it happened, but I wouldn't have known that anything came from it.
Yeah. There we go. That's different.
Oh yeah. Guys are actually thinking about coming. They're talking to Nani about it.
So like you
Whoa. Okay, we're good, right?
Yeah. How do you feel?
Good. I felt whenever you were doing it here, I feel like a lot like a warm stream in the back of my throat. That's what I was like.
which we have, it's on this per, it's okay now? So I'm literally gonna push the whole thing up. Is that okay? Let your body relax. I'm not gonna grab you, I promise. All the way out. A little bit more in this way.
My rose.
And open. Head back a little and open. There we go.
Whoa. Wow. That was a weird pop.
Yeah.
Like, wow, okay, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah.